Sponsored by PCBWay, more in a minute. My daughter made me an ugly sweater and I promised her I'd use it. If you have a 3D printer like I do, you've probably seen occasional dumpster fires on sites like Creality Cloud, Thingiverse, and so on. These dumpsters either had writing on them, used a tea light candle, or a flame with no candle at all, which to me, honestly, is easy but also kind of boring. I need a light to give off that warm garbage on fire feeling at night. I need something that can animate the flames from underneath. I also need flames themselves, which have to move around randomly. Finally, all this has to be USB powered for my depression on the go. So this is a 3D printed, animated dumpster fire, perfect for any Teams or Zoom backdrop prop. You can also change what you're disappointed in. Not just the year, but current events too. Powered by a first-gen Raspberry Pi Pico, that'll give us the ability to power it via USB and control our other internals. Knowing our 5-volt power limits, we can then select a fan with enough air movement to move our tissue paper flames on some steel rods. Put all that in a dumpster that I spent way too much PLA on iterating with, and I can finally tell my friends at work what I think of their projects. This was actually harder than it looks, and I thought this would be an easy video to round out the year with, but I also ran into some challenges which really put me up against the deadline. The hardest part, believe it or not, the tissue paper design, followed by a hunt for a usable 5-volt van because most 5-volt vans are absolutely gutless. So we'll go over this and more in the build. Right now, PCBWay is doing their annual Christmas and New Year event where you can get coupons and holiday-themed gifts to bring your projects to life for a little less money. If you need 3D printing, CNC machining, or custom PCBs, check out their site by using the link in the description below for $5 off for new customers and hopefully some extra discounts when you join their holiday event. I want to start the build off with the internals. Like I said, our requirements is that we have a fan, some LEDs, and a Raspberry Pi Pico. I found this mounting grid on Adafruit along with some 3mm standoffs I already had. While oversized, I was able to still squeeze them in there. These could pick the fan up for more airflow and mount the Pico. The Pico has a lot of enclosures out there to print, so I downloaded one that snap fit and made it fit by cutting a leg off. I designed a hat for the fan to direct the airflow outward in a small cone just a little bit, while also providing a place to hot glue the LEDs and prevent them from flying off. I had my PLA pins coming up from the bottom and again just hot glued the top. I learned there's no need to over-engineer when a dot of hot glue will work just as well. Finally, the fan has to be 5-volt because that's what the Pico provides. It does have 3.3 volts, but that's way underpowered and most Raspberry Pi cooling fans are 5-volt, 0.1 amp. I bought a few of these and they sucked for this purpose. They moved a minimal amount of air because they only pulled half a watt. While listening to the Dell R410 I have in the other room, I realized I could probably find fatter and higher amp fans, and I sure did. So this is a 5-volt, half amp fan for a total of 2.5 watts. That's 5 times more power. That blows enough air to be useful. No Amazon Prime on this one, so a week later and now a week behind, I had my last part to build this. Assemble and test, and we can move on to getting a good dumpster print. Just like anyone else, I head to my favorite 3D printing sites and find a dumpster I like, and free because YouTube gives me no budget here, so please subscribe. First thing I did was print the dumpster itself at different scales to see which one I liked the best and land on 175%, which fit my internals and fit on the print bed itself. Knowing I had to modify it, I started a print job for its accessories like the lid, top, and wheels. Over to Tinkercad, I added 3mm holes in 15mm increments so I could use standoffs to mount my electronics. I measured the height of my LEDs, added holes for the metal rods that would have the fire on it. I added a hole for the USB cable in the back, and some air redirection to make use of everything that little fan can give me. One quick build montage later, and some super glue, and I have a dumpster. The tissue paper fire was actually kind of difficult. I have never done anything like this. I figured 1 or 2 iterations and I have something usable, but nope, 6 iterations, and after watching Violent Night, a new Christmas favorite, later I found that keeping the paper thin and light looked better than large, heavy, flame-shaped cutouts. I also found using one piece of tissue paper and cutting it made it more stable than poking holes in individual strands like 100 times. While looking less like a fire, it moved a lot more, and that animation was what I wanted more than anything else. I went back and added more mounting holes for the fire so I could print once and play with the best location. Obviously, I made 2 more because just one isn't convincing, nor does it cover all the electronics inside. There isn't a lot of code here since I took the idea from my pumpkin video of mimicking a flame by randomizing an LED color and brightness for a simple and easy to understand flickering glow effect. I got real sick of using Thonny for my Raspberry Pi programming, so I took this opportunity to move to the Arduino IDE. We just need a few things to add support for the Pico board. In Board Manager, you need to add the Raspberry Pi Pico package from Earl. Once that's installed, select your board by searching for the Pico and select the USB port it's on. You should see Raspberry Pi Pico on a COM port connected to the bottom right. Then in the Tools Library Manager, search and install the Adafruit NeoPixel library from Adafruit. I started with an example from the NeoPixels library and thinned it down to the block of code on screen. We have our library include and some definitions. This took me a minute because I simply forgot, but this pin 6 is not the 6th physical pin on the Pico, but GP6 on the pinout diagram, which is actually physical pin number 8 thanks to grounds and power. So strip.begin initializes the object, then I set an initial brightness and show it. Show will apply the values in memory to the LEDs. The loop goes through each pixel and with a weighted random will assign yellow, red, or orange. Finally, we set a random brightness with 255 being the maximum. Show it, then wait 50 milliseconds, which was defined above. Compile, upload, make sure your LEDs work, and play nice with a relatively high power fan. Since there is a power budget, if things don't play nice for any reason, I recommend lowering the potential brightness to give the fans more of a power budget by lowering the power used by the LEDs. And there you have it. I'm ready to show everyone what I think of 2024, what I expect from 2025, how my master's is coming along, and how I feel about politics, regardless of who you vote for. I can print project names and use this in my Teams meetings if I'm not looking to make friends. The ability to complain is endless, and I want to see how you can improve on this idea.